Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to the first game of the season, the first official competitive game of the season, the first La Liga game of this 38 game season. It is between Athletic Club Bilbao against Real Madrid. I mean, look, La Liga is back. It feels like the season just ended. In fact, it ended about 2 months ago against Athletic Bilbao in a 1-1 draw, which secured second spot. Now, this season, Real Madrid will be aiming and striving for that first spot, which realistically should be something that Real Madrid strive for every year. So, look, let's hope that this season is going to be a good season. It's going to be a season where Real Madrid are back to being successful. Last season, yes, Real Madrid won technically 3 trophies: the UEFA Super Cup, the Copa del Rey, and the Club World Cup. But if you compare them to the Liga or the Champions League, it's not as luxurious and something that every Real Madrid fan won. I mean, look, of course, Real Madrid fans won trophies, but the Champions League is what you want to be winning. The Liga is what you want to be winning. You want to be the best team in Europe. You want to be the best team in Spain, and that's what Real Madrid will be trying to go for this season. Now, let's talk about firstly Real Madrid into this game. Now, pre-season was supposed to kind of tell us where we are at the moment. And personally, I don't feel like preseason has shown us enough. I feel like we definitely need another 1 or 2 games more to have been played. Because look, Bellingham was great, Vinicius was great, a few of the other players were great. The rest were alright. They weren't bad, but they weren't, you know, players that played every minute or played in, with players that they might, have to get used to playing in. So it's almost like they haven't played much to be fully ready into this new system that Ancelotti is probably going to use, which is almost a diamond shaped midfield, isn't it? Or a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, if we are talking FIFA terms, to better understand this formation. Now, personally, I feel like preseason could have been much better. It was probably like a 5 or 6 out of 10. But even though the results were poor, we saw a couple of positives. Like I said, Jude Bellingham, he was incredible. Vinicius Junior having to play the role that he's playing did quite well. But obviously, he likes to drift wide. That striker role isn't really made for him because it's a very narrow role, of course. And he likes to drift wide. Rodrigo likes to drift wide, and that means that Jude Bellingham himself has to go forward and cover the spaces that those two would have taken, which means he's basically a false nine. He's basically a striker, which is basically a 4-3-3 by this point. So this is what we've seen in pre-season. Defensively, it's been solid, but we have seen defensively that once again, like last season, and even like the season before, Real Madrid like to give goals away for fun, essentially. Against Barcelona and against Juventus, 6 goals considered overall, 8 goals considered in 4 pre-season matches. It's not something that you can go about saying, look, it's a great achievement. It's not. So clearly, defensively, there's work to be done. Hopefully, those work and those have been fixed. Those problems have been fixed in training. But those are going to be the key to success, because if you make a mistake here and there in a Laliga match that might be decisive, or a Champions League match that might be decisive, you lose out, because one mistake and it's a goal, and you might get knocked out afterwards. So, you know, you have to prevent from making these mistakes. And I'm wondering if Real Madrid have actually worked these problems, solved these problems, resolved these problems, and if they're ready to go in the next season. Now, as far as we know right now, the defensive issues are still there. We haven't really seen Real Madrid play a proper match after that Juventus game. I'm also worried about the striker role, because as much as we all talk about defensively, the striker role I'm not convinced. Like I said earlier on, Vinicius Rodrigo like to move out, which means Jude Bellingham is the striker, and that I don't think you can rely on for the next 50-60 games, because it's going to be a 50-60 game season. There's going to be 30 La Liga games. You're probably going to have 6 group stage match, like guaranteed, and you're probably going to get into the knockout round. So La Liga, Champions League, minimally 44 games. Cup games, if you make it far to the Champions League, you're going to have 50 plus 60 games. So it's not going to be 50-60 games of relying on Bellingham. It's going to be Joselu, but are we going to play 30 games of Bellingham as striker, 30 games of Joselu as striker? No. I expect something to be done in the next 2-3 weeks at most. Even if it's not Real Madrid and Mbappe, something has to be resolved. Because right now, it hasn't been said by Fabrizio Romano or any other journalist that Real Madrid have pulled out or are not going to make an offer for Mbappe. There's no confirmation of Real Madrid stalling, not going to do it. It's just Real Madrid have yet to do it. So it doesn't confirm Real Madrid are going to do it, but neither does it confirm Real Madrid are not going to do it. So we want confirmation. If you're going to do it, confirm that you're going to do it. If you're not going to do it, confirm that you're not going to do it. Because we are dragging on. We were having these rumors a month and a half ago, and up until this point, we're 1 week, less than a week, 4 days away from the start of the season, and we still don't have a Benzema replacement. Don't give me Joselu crap. Don't give me Brahim Diaz nonsense. Don't give me Arthur Güler nonsense. Those are good players. Those are players that can come in and get 5 to 10 goals probably, but those are not Benzema replacement, because they're not strikers. They're not strikers that can get you 30-35 goals a season. And that is Kane. That is Erling Haaland. That is Kylian Mbappe. And if you are going to get Mbappe, which I've always said I'm not the biggest fan of, at least get it done fast. At least get it done, like, by the second or third match. We're not going to get him done by this first match, I get it. But if by the second, against, I think it's Almeria, isn't it? If by that point, he's not signed, there has to be question marks raised about the season. Because if you haven't brought in a striker, whether that be Mbappe, whether that be Harry Kane, by the game against Almeria, there is going to be real serious issues and real serious concerns heading into a brand new season. Because you can't go into the new season and just pray that Joselu, Jude Bellingham, at striker is going to get you 35 goals a season each, or 20 goals a season each. You're not going to be able to do that. Also, without a proper number 9 for the sales goals, Vinicius, his numbers might drop because he's been forced to play in a system that doesn't really suit him. He's not a striker. Rodrigo isn't a striker, so they're being played in a system that doesn't suit them. Bellingham is being played in a system that doesn't suit his game, but he has to adapt to it. So does Vinicius and Rodrigo. Vinicius, as I've always said, likes to drift wide, so he doesn't get that many opportunity to drift wide and make a run or get into the box that much with the ball. as he would if he's playing as a proper winger. So it does affect going forward. It does affect going forward. That's number one. Defensive problems, like I said earlier on, it's still there. It still needs to be solved. So that's two problems here, okay? Midfield, I'm totally fine with. The rotations, Modric, Cruz, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, Dani Ceballos when he comes back in late August, Bellingham could play in one of the three spots as well. So, midfield, fine. Thibaut Courtois is going to play. We know that. So, in terms of the problems, I've already talked about it. Let's see what happens. In terms of Athletic Club Bilbao, look, I don't really know many signings that they've made. I don't know if they've made any, but the squad is a good squad, and they've always finished in about that 8th to 12th mid-table, high mid-table range. So Atletico Bilbao are going to be safe for sure. I think they could push for 7th or 6th, but I think that will be really, really tough for them to do. They've got both Williams brothers, don't they? Inaki and Nico Williams. Both great athletes, both great players as well. And Herrera in the midfield. I know Inigo Martinez went to Barcelona as well, so that's a big loss for them. I don't know how they replaced him. They've got the typical Spanish players as well. Yeray, Di Marcos, is Yuri Pachiche still at the club? I'm pretty sure he is. Unai Simon in goal. He's a great keeper. So they've got good squad players, good players. But I think it shouldn't be too big of a problem. Now last season, Real Madrid got off to a very strong start. We know that. The opener was against Almeria, where we won 2-1. Great Alaba free kick, I remember that as well. But let's hope that Real Madrid can replicate that and, start things off strong. Because, and I'm going to say this, right, starting off strong doesn't mean you end strong. Right, last season, we started out so strong. One Osasuna result, and it seems like it crashed from then on. So you can go on this winning streak, 7, 8, 9, 10 games unbeaten and winning every game. But until you hit this game where you draw or lose, if you start going inconsistent from there, and you draw, you win, and you lose games, then there's going to be problems. Again, we're not going to win all 38 games. We're not going to go unbeaten for 38 games. You're going to lose games. There's going to be points where you're going to lose some games. Whether that's unfortunate or whether that's, you're not good enough. Either ways, there's going to be a point of the season where we're going to start losing 3 points or 2 points here and there. So you have to accept that fact. But it's about not doing that too much. Because it's against Barcelona to see who is going to drop more points and who's going to gain more points. So if Barcelona pick up 3 points, we have to pick up 3 points. If we don't, and we keep doing that, if we keep getting a draw and Barcelona keep winning, by match 25, I think they're going to win the league. So you need to be able to keep up with Barcelona, and I think a Barcelona fan will tell you the same thing. Whatever Real Madrid do, you must match. So it goes the same way. It goes both ways. You have to match your rival, because realistically, it's going to be Real Madrid or it's going to be Barcelona. It might be Atletico Madrid that win the league. So these three have to try to match each other. So if Atletico Madrid slip, we can almost tell ourselves, you know what, they might not be in the conversation. But if Atletico Madrid get a great start, after 5-10 matches, they are keeping pace with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Maybe they are title challengers. But like I said, it depends on keeping up with your rivals and your rivals keeping up with you. This is a 2-3 horse race, and can we get off to a good start? I look at the opening fixtures. We've got 3 away games: Bilbao, Almeria, and I want to say Celta Vigo, if I'm not mistaken. 3 away games. It's going to be tough, but it's doable. It's doable. Like I said, I don't want to disrespect Atletico Bilbao because they're a solid mid-table team. But realistically, if you don't win your opening game against Atletico Bilbao, it doesn't, give a good, indication that you're going to go for the trophies. If it's Barcelona on match day 1, okay, maybe you can make an exception to that. But realistically, Atletico Bilbao should be a win. And so, I'm going to go with Atletico Bilbao 1, Real Madrid 2. It's going to be a narrow win. I was tempted to say 3-1, but I'm not going to be arrogant. I'm not going to be overconfident. I'm just going to hope that Real Madrid go to San Mamés, go there, get the result, get the win, just take the 3 points, and then we move from there. Because that's the most important part of, starting the season well. It doesn't matter if you win 5-0 or 1-0. As long as you get the 3 points, great. I'd rather win 2-1 than lose 2-1. So, realistically, let's hope that Real Madrid can start things well. Like I said, 2-1 for me. But let me know what your thoughts are on the formation. Would you change any starters? Would you bring anyone in? I would like to hear your thoughts down below. But before I end, I have forgot to go through the team. So let me just go through the team. Like I said, Courtois earlier on. Right back, I've got Carvajal. I think even though he should technically have a replacement, it's not going to be this summer. It's probably going to be next summer. I think he's still the main right back as of now. Lucas Vazquez will compete, but for me, it's going to be Carvajal. Militao, Alaba, we know the starters. Rudiger, I'm sorry, I would love to see Rudiger, Militao, or Alaba, Rudiger, but it's not going to be. Fran Garcia is going to come in, of course he is. There was reports, and there was this news from Marca that I'm probably going to react to, that said that Camavinga is going to be used at left back this season. He's probably going to be used for 1 game or 2, but don't expect Camavinga to be the main left back when you brought in Fran Garcia. Like, that's not going to happen. Mendy is injured, yes, we know that, but it's not going to be Camavinga that replaces Mendy. It's going to be Fran Garcia. That's why he was brought back to the club. So Fran Garcia plays, and of course, a new picture. I'll try to update these pictures as well, by the way. My midfield trio. Now, in the midfield, again, Marca did say in their news that, a midfield of Valverde, Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Bellingham could be it. Now, I think Valverde and Tchouaméni will play. I think Modric will come in for Camavinga, because I think that you want to have at least one player in there for the opener that has a bit of experience. And for me, of course, it's between Modric and Kroos. I just feel like Modric will play, and maybe Kroos might come on, Camavinga will come on. Let's see. Bellingham has to play because he fits the system, and of course the 2 up top fits the system perfectly in terms of moving wide. But of course, if they are playing where they should be, it doesn't really work, because in this system, you don't rely on a player like Bellingham to move in the striker, which would happen if Vinicius and Rodrigo move wide. Your 2 strikers are supposed to stay in the central zone, and Bellingham essentially moves back into the midfield, and 2 of the midfielders might tuck out. That is how it's meant to be, but essentially, we have done it the other way around. So, that has to be the starting 11. I think the only exception to this starting 11 is Camavinga. It might be Kroos, but this is just going to be my prediction. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Let me know your thoughts, like I said earlier on the starting 11 prediction, and also your formation, and your prediction, score prediction. But if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button if you guys did, subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.